All right, welcome back to Signature Television. This is Signature Sport, and I am Franklin Imona. And joining us on the show is our usual sports analyst, a sports journalist. He joins me live on the show. A very good morning to you, Mr. Jeffrey Obrigado. It seems that the bromance between you and Signature Sport is growing by the day.
Good morning, my good friend. There's a little bit of hitches actually, but it is really fine. But the bromance between me and Signature Sports is always amazing, and my pleasure is always due to bring my best in this show and get everybody excited. Good morning.
All right. Absolutely, Mr. Jeffrey. Let's delve into the Nigerian Premier Football League for a moment. I had to save the story because I know it is one story that you would love to feast on. And that is the resignation of coach Kennedy Buboye of Sunshine Stars. Over the weekend, he tendered a resignation letter citing interference of the Sunshine State administrators, Sunshine Stars, I beg your pardon, administrators, as well as some of their players reporting him to the board, to the chairman, to the president, and what have you. And the president, in turn, denied interfering with Coach Kennedy Boboye's matchday squad, interfering with his training regime, and what have you. And ever since, in fact, on Kennedy Boboye's X handle and also on the social media handle of Sunshine Stars, it has been an exchange of words between these two bodies. And from information we are getting, Coach Kennedy Boboye is not the first coach that will be resigning from Sunshine Stars based on interference. The previous coach, Agoye Ajay, also resigned from Sunshine Stars. I want you to talk us through the story, Mr. Jeffrey. What's going on with our league clubs and interference with some of these coaches' rule? We saw this with Aimba. We saw this with Kwara United. We also saw this with Ekiti United last season, where the entire male and the female team were disbanded and the coach had to resign out of anger. And now we are seeing it with Sunshine Stars. What's your take on this?
The NFF need to interfere in this kind of situation because consistency in a particular kind of direction is really, really bad when it comes to the interference between the president and other board of trustees and the coach. You cannot interfere with the training regime, the training routine of the coach. It's not allowing the coach to express himself. Because Boboye is a very great coach. He has done so much for the league. He has done so much for Nigerian Football League. So I really don't understand how a big coach like Boboye will be having such a problem with the club. I really don't understand because it's really, really disheartening. It is really, really painful that you see in this situation whereby our football in the country is on the high and on the rise. And somebody like a president, because you're having issues with the coaches or you don't like the system or the players are complaining about the routine and you go there to be complaining. It's really, really, really disheartening. This is on another level. I really don't understand why our football, when we are trying to move 5 steps forward, we are coming back with 4 steps backward. This is Bode complaining. I remember last 2 weeks he has been complaining about this particular issue, and he was forced to resign because too much. It was happening. He can't be able to produce efficiency in the pitch and in the field of play. It is really distracting that a coach is trying to deliver. He has been fighting for form, and he's trying to bring back the form. Now you are interfering with the club and with the performance of the players and the training routine. It's not good. It's really not good for Bobe to complain. He's telling you that it is really up to his neck, and he doesn't have a choice than to resign. Because NFF need to put in play rules and regulation, terms and conditions for the players and the president. They should know and ensure that these things are stipulated, put on a gazetted phrase, so that you, as a club employing a coach, you cannot be able to interfere with his formation and with his team. So it's really disheartening for us to see such thing happen in this current regime in Nigerian Football Federation. I really don't understand. They need to work it out. They need to make sure that it is really stipulated in the laws. Put it inside the law of the Nigerian Football Federation that every club even the club should give the coach opportunity to have freedom so that he can be able to bring its maximum. But Nigeria sometimes they just behave like a league that has not grown so far, a league that is just starting. It's really disheartening and it's painful. Seriously, it's painful.
Well, I must say that for any coaches going into any coach rather going into any contract with any club in the Nigerian Premier Football League, a clause in that contract must include the ability for the coach to have free hands over his players, free hands on how to run the affairs of the team, and of course, a free hands on selection of players in any match day game. This will definitely bring respect as well as coordination to every and any football club in Nigeria. I sincerely want to go with you, Mr. Jeffrey, concerning the influence of the Nigerian Football Federation concerning issues like this, because it would definitely project Nigerian league in a negative light if it is not properly done. And if it is properly done, it would definitely project us into the right frame in the entire world. And away from the Nigerian Premier Football League, let's come down to the camp of the Super Eagles. Mr. Jeffrey, indeed the camp has officially opened and we hear that players are already in camp. The likes of Chukwueze, Samuel Chukwueze is already in camp, and not forgetting Victor Collins is also in camp. And of course, other players like Yusuf, they are also in camp. The likes of Stanley Wabali also has arrived camp. And there was some lighter training late yesterday evening with just 8 players in camp, and we hear that some have arrived this morning in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. I must say, for a very long time, Jeffrey, the Super Eagles players are coming to camp early. Discipline and unity, in fact commitment at the highest level, has been shown by these players, not just of lately but in time past. I think in the last 6-7 games, the Super Eagles players arrive early to camp. Even those with injury arrive camp with injury. This spells good tidings for a footballer. Don't you agree, Mr. Jeffrey?
I definitely agree. Kudos to the NFF president, Mr. Basal. The man is really amazing. I'm telling you, it takes the love, it takes consistency, it takes commitment, it takes togetherness. It takes a lot for us to get this kind of reaction from the players. You can see the love, you can see the belief, you can see the hunger. This is the Super Eagles that we used to know. When they call for camp, they hurriedly come to camp. They want to be in the camp. They want to perform for the country. So I give the kudos to the NFF, the Nigerian Football Federation president. The man is amazing because the love that man has for Super Eagles and for the entirety of the Nigerian football is really, really top notch. And I am not shocked by this reaction from the players. When you have love, you can be able to lay down your life for anything. I'm telling you. So this is really amazing, and it's a positive for us as a country.
The likes of Moses Simon, Dele Bashiru, and others, including our captain, William Trust Ekong, are long in camp. They have arrived and they have had their early morning section as well as their early morning work. So we will be giving you updates concerning that one far away in Abidjan. For those of you wondering why the game is played in Cote d'Ivoire, Benin Republic, remember that their only stadium wasn't passed fit by the Confederation of African Football to host any international match, and hence they have since adopted the Samuel Opemo Niasta Stadium of Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire to host all their home matches. So the game will be going down in Ivory Coast. And 4 days later, at the next of champions, the Godswill Akpabio Stadium will play host to the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Amavubi of Rwanda. And of course, it will be a mouth-watering encounter. Mr. Jeffrey, I know you are eager rather to be to see this game live. Hopefully, you will be there to see this game live. All right, I will definitely establish connection with our man, Mr. Jeffrey Obregado. And before we leave the local scene and look at some of the biggest stories from the foreign scene, one man has come out to complain. In fact, he has pointed fingers to the Nigerian Football Federation. He have also pointed fingers to the coaches of the Super Eagles, and to an extent, he have also faulted a journalist like myself for not bringing him into relevance again after his retirement from international football. 2010 Golden Chance Mesa Yakubu Aiyegbeni, one man that up till now some Nigerians, let me not generalize, are yet to forgive him for that horrendous miss he missed against South Korea in the South African World Cup that went down far back 14 years ago, 2010 to be precise. He has come out to say that he has not gotten any credit so far, and it seems like a forgotten son and a forgotten hero despite all he has done. The Nigerians, in his words, hate him. Obrigado, Yakubu Aiyegbeni, a household name. The fifth highest goal scorer in the history of Nigerian football, and he holds one of the records for the most goals scored by an African player in the EPL, and he holds the record for the most goals scored by a Nigerian in the English Premier League. And he has come out to point fingers at you that you have forgotten him, in fact, that you hate him. What would you say about this claim of Mr. Yakubu Aiyegbeni?
I really don't understand why a veteran, one of the greatest attackers we have that applied the trade for our country, is complaining about, we've forgotten about him. What relevance? Where has he appeared? What sporting appearance has he done? When Nigeria is playing a friendly or a match, has he been there? Or do he always appear in any match that Nigeria is trying to play? What is the relevance he has been attached to? Or what has he done after leaving football? You understand? What has he done for the youth? What has he done for Nigerians when it comes to football? When you retire from football, you're supposed to come back home. You have to liaise with the other players, other legends, try to make communication, come into the NFF, try to bring what you have to offer to the NFF in the sports where you played or where you have really grown to the level that you are today. So what is the relevance? I don't understand the complaint. I don't understand. Since Yakubu Aiyegbeni retired from football, he has not been in Nigeria. He has not been to any aspect of football when it comes to Nigeria. We have not played a match in Nigeria whereby he has appeared in the national stadium. So his complaint is just, I don't know. I really don't understand why he said we hate him. How can we hate him? That one is the past, is already bygone. Though we are really angry for that miss because he denied us qualification for that open play, but it's a past situation. But I really don't understand why he's complaining about us forgetting him, because he's supposed to add value. After retirement, you add value. You come into the NFF. What do you have to offer? Or you go to any coaching course,
Absolutely.
get your grade A, grade C, or grade. You understand? Get something to offer. So you don't have anything to offer, and you're saying we hate you. Why would we hate you? We don't have any business to do with you because you're retired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only when you try to bring value to the system or to the NFF, or you get an academy in Nigeria, you don't have anything to give us. So why are we going to remember you? Come into the space, something to offer, get an have something to talk about.
Absolutely. You have said it all, Jeffrey. You have said it all. What have you done after retirement? What has been your influence in the game right here in Nigeria? What has been your contribution? The likes of Joseph Yobo, Ahmed Musa, Kanu Wankwo, not forgetting Austin J.J. Okocha, Victor Ikpeba, and the likes Daniel Omokachi, Emmanuel Amonike. These are legends that have gone into sporting business. Some of them owns and runs academies. Some of them are coaches. Others have done well when it comes to philanthropical moves and business, where their names will not be forgotten easily. But for Yakubu Aiyegbeni, we are yet to hear from him concerning his life after football. A beautiful submission once again, Jeffrey, for that. All right, let's go on a short break. When we return, we will be taking you straight to the foreign scene where Neymar, Boba are definitely on the news and they're crying. What are they crying about? Stay tuned to find out. Signature Sports makes a return after this timeout. Glad to know that you are still tuning to Signature Television, and this is Signature Sport, your flagship sports show on Signature TV. A show that takes you around the ever exciting, busy world of sport with no visa. With me, Franklin Imana, as your pilot. And welcome to the second half of the show. And straight away we move to the foreign scene, where we'll begin from the busiest market in the world, and that is the transfer market. Clubs are already making moves come this January, and some are already arranging their list for the summer. Yes, the list of players they wish to get in the summer. One of those teams is Arsenal. We hear that Arsenal are ready to go all out for West Ham United Ghanaian winger Mohamed Kudus, following his impressive performance for the Hammers in the last two seasons. Just so you know, Mr. Jeffrey Obrigado is also with us live on the show. Mr. Jeffrey, one of your favorite players, Mohamed Kudus, might just be on his way to Arsenal following the continuous injury of players for Arsenal and the likes of Trossard and Martinelli, who has not really hit top forms for the club.
Definitely, it will be a good addition for Arsenal Football Club. Mohamed Kudus is an exceptional player, a wizardry left footer, so he's going to add much value and much competition to the Arsenal attack. It's a very, very good one. Last season, it was Liverpool that was pushing for him, but I think Liverpool will still come for him because Mohamed Salah too is on getting to the age brackets whereby he cannot be able to take the club into the next level. But Arsenal adding Mohamed Kudus to be an exceptional signing for Arsenal Football Club because Mohamed Kudus is an exceptional player.
Talking about African players who are wingers in particular, they haven't really flourished for Arsenal. Looking at Ivorian winger Nicolas Pepe, who was gotten for a record fee £72.5 million from French side Leo Metropole. He didn't really live up to expectation for Arsenal and it was eventually shipped out. Hopefully, if Arsenal can get their hands on Mohamed Kudus, I personally believe that he would do well under Mikel Arteta. And away from Arsenal and Kudus, let's still dwell in the transfer market as we hear that former Manchester United midfielder who is currently serving an 18-match ban on his doping scandal. We hear that as early as March he will be back to playing football, but this time he wants to terminate his contract with Juventus. Talking about Paul Pogba, he has come out to say that he's not ready to play for Juventus anytime soon when his ban suspension comes to an end in March. At the moment, Paul Pogba is currently training alone in his personal apartment, and sometimes he does visit the gym section of Juventus as a player under contract, but is looking at terminating his contract with Juventus once the suspension is over. Obrigado, good move for Paul Pogba, or you think that he's making a wrong choice leaving Juventus? Because Juventus have been able to stick with him despite these hard times in his career.
Well, before the Juventus were the one we are trying to initiate the termination of the contract. Before all these shenanigans that is going through of this Pogba situation. Juventus were the first people we were trying to ask Pogba to come into a mutual agreement to terminate the contract. So it is even best for Pogba to leave the club because that issue that happened to be able to deliver based on that embargo that is there. because it was in Juventus that that situation happened. So it's a good one for both parties. They're going to go into a termination of the contract, and mutually they are going to go their separate ways. For Pogba is still a very fine, fantastic player, but age is no longer on his side, so he still have like three
Come
to 5 years to
on,
play.
Pogba is just 32 years old. He can go on and on. The likes of Cristiano Ronaldo is still playing football. Don't you think he can still do more despite
Allied
him
football,
being in his 30s?
allied football in Europe. No, 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 no. Maybe in Saudi Arabia,
Okay.
he still have like 10 years to play in Saudi. But in Europe, you just have 2 to 3 years to play in Europe. That's all. He cannot give
Wow.
you that level of high profile professionalism in Europe. The intensity is high, speed level is high. To move towards Saudi to go and earn money. But in Europe, he cannot be able to give you such level whereby we know for Pogba to give us in football. So definitely, it's a good one for Juventus. Maybe he comes to maybe Manchester United, play for 2 seasons or go
All
to another
right.
club for 2, 3 seasons, then go to Saudi Arabia to earn money. So that's just it.
Absolutely. All right, let's move over now to Man United as this news will definitely excite a lot of Manchester United watching us right about now. We hear that new coach Ruben Amorim has penciled the Chelsea striker Christopher Nkunku to be his first signing following the player's unrest with lack of game time under coach Enzo Maresca in Chelsea. Christopher Nkunku, who has managed just 18 minutes so far in the EPL this season, and he has scored as many as 6 goals for Chelsea in the Europa League, is not happy with his present situation. We hear that a move to Manchester United might just be an escape route for the French international, who is also looking at his position in the French national team squad. Mr. Jeffrey, I know this news will definitely excite you. Christopher Nkunku is such a brilliant player, but at the moment he cannot dispose of Senegalese forward Nicholas Jackson. Would that be a good move if he joins the Red Devil later in January?
Fantastic move. Nkunku is an attacker that gives me so much joy. His movement, off the ball movement, on the ball movement, his slick play, his dribbling ability, his ability to connect with his center forwards and his wingers with the midfielders is a brilliant player. Nkunku is a brilliant player. The injury that he had, the long-term injury, got into him psychologically as for now. But in the next 6 months to 1 year, he's going to come back to his best. I'm moving to Ruben Amorim's team, an attacking kind of football, and a coach that is going to believe in him, that is going to motivate him. A brilliant signing for Manchester United. If it goes through, it's going to be a brilliant signing.
Right, we see how Manchester United can pull that deal. If he does join Manchester United, he joins the likes of Juan Mata and of course Nemanja Matic, who has switched from Chelsea to Manchester United of lately. And away from that, we hear that injury ravaged Neymar might just have his contract terminated by his Saudi Arabian league side Al Hilal following his continuous injury. We hear that Neymar is currently out injured, having just returned and played just 3 games coming off the bench, and he has returned to his favorite position, and that is the hospital bed. And his employers are not looking that they might just extend his contract or better still continue to pay him for not playing football, having missed 369 days out injured. Jeffrey, Neymar might just be moving to Santos if he has his contract terminated. A good move for Saudi Arabian side, or you think that the workload in the Saudi Pro League is having a toll on him?
It's a good move from the Saudi club. You cannot be investing in something and you are not benefiting from it. Why will you pay a player such amount of money and he's giving you excuses, flirting up and down, giving you party vibes everywhere? He's not consistent. He's not there. You say he's injury, but yet he's not there to have operation. Just, I'm sorry to say, Neymar is a sports kid, and I really don't understand that. Maybe So a termination from the Saudi club is the best for them because they will save money. They pay him so much money. A lot of endorsement deals involved. TV rights is involved. No, you cannot continue to eat money. Other players are playing and you are just enjoying the money and coming to celebrate medals with the club. No, it's not done. It needs to go. So it's a good move from the Saudi club. They need to terminate the contract.
Absolutely.
To
We'll
go back to
definitely give
Santos
you
and
more updates
do
as
whatever I
the
want.
transfer market gets busy. Away from the transfer market, let's move over to a very disturbing story. Following the suspension of David Court, a referee in the English Premier League, he was suspended by the PGMOL refereeing body in England following his unruly, I repeat, unruly behavior as a video has surfaced online following his verbal abuse to Liverpool Football Club and to former manager Jurgen Klopp following his utterances. In his word, he called Liverpool as a club using the S word, and of course he also insulted Jurgen Klopp using the C word. I would definitely not say those words on TV, but hear him, the suspended referee. Yes, he has been suspended, David Court, as he went ballistic on Liverpool as a football club. Hear him.
Okay, Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official.
Liverpool was shit.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Cunt, absolutely.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a cunt?
Aside from having a right pop at me when I ref them against Burnley in lockdown, then he accused me of lying, and then just had a right fucking pop at me, and I've got no interest in speaking to someone who's fucking arrogant. So I do my best not to speak to him. Milner's alright. I get on with so
James Milner. You get someone James Milner.
you can see me there with mask on.
Yeah. Mask on, obviously.
Yeah. COVID, got to be done. Social distancing, right? We're 10 metres apart.
We have to social distance.
Yeah. So, but oh my god, German cunt, fuck me.
Long story short, Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Liverpool are all fucking bellends, and
Really from David Court. Mr. Jeffrey, imagine a referee that is supposed to be idolized and looked as a god during a game because it's quarterfinals. Imagine him using those words on a football club and Jurgen Klopp. It is not nice at all. And he has been suspended. Good caller from the PGMOL.
What do we have to say? Is it not English football? They will intentionally rob you on the field of play, and they will come on Monday and be apologizing. So whether it's a good call to them, I don't know. For me, it's a good call, but the English referee, they are absolutely corrupt. Take it or leave it. I keep officials in the world of football. I'm telling you, they will rob you on the broad daylight on the HGTV and trying to tell you why it is right where we know that it's wrong. So I'm not surprised. A lot of match fixing in play in English football. So I'm really not surprised. If they go on a thorough investigation, they will fish out a lot of referees.
Mr. Jeffrey.
And they know about it. It's not like something new.
Mr. Jeffrey, now the irony with David Court is that his last game he officiated was between Liverpool and Aston Villa, to which Liverpool won by 2-0. But it is believed that that is also not an excuse for a referee to come out in the public to brandish a club and to call them names. We hear that he has been suspended following further investigation, and if he's found guilty, he will be relieved of his duty and he will be stripped from officiating any game moving forward. This is the alleged verdict that we hear might just be passed on David Court. And all right, away from that, Mr. Jeffrey, because we are pressed for time, we hear that Victor Osimhen has continued to show solidarity and support for his teammate Mario Icardi. This came following his brace he scored over the weekend against Trabzonspor, where he scored 2 goals. And in celebration, he raised the Mario Icardi's shirt with the inscription, "Get well soon, brother." It seems the bromance between Osimhen and Mario Icardi is really wonderful. And with I don't see Osimhen leaving Galatasaray anytime soon. How beautiful is this gesture, Mr. Jeffrey?
Osimhen, we know our boy Victor Osimhen is a very nice guy. He's a fun to be with. Though he might be heady, but he's a fun to be with. He doesn't have an issue. So before he went to Galatasaray, a lot of comments were saying that Icardi is going to have issues with Osimhen. But Osimhen is a good guy. As a Niger boy now, once you just enter, once you get into a particular space, you make friends with everybody that you make with. And one of the key players is Icardi. So Icardi, the bromance between Osimhen and Icardi is very, very active, and it's a good one for him to show solidarity to Icardi.
Absolutely. And finally, before we let you go, Mr. Jeffrey, now the international break is upon us, and we hear that players are picking injuries left, right, and center. According to the report we are getting from the camp of the Three Lions, that is the English national team, about 8 players have been withdrawn from the squad, including Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Harry Maguire, Kobe Mino, and what have you. We also hear that Robert Lewandowski has also withdrawn from the Polish national team, as well as Lamine Yamal been withdrawn from the Spanish national team, all due to injury. Should we blame the international break for all of these injuries, or should the international break be coming in December, where most of the leagues are on break, or we should just scrap the international break as the players are seriously complaining? What's your take about these injuries and the international calendar?
FIFA is very important in football. The number one governing body in football is FIFA. So you cannot scrap the international break. They just need to make some adjustment. The games are cumbersome. Footballers are playing like as if it's in the NBA. Football is football. It's not easy for these players to make it up to so much the amount of games they play in a week and coming to the international game. So they need to put it according to the timing and make it known according to what you say around the December period, whereby a lot of clubs are going on the break. So it will be very easy for these players to adjust. Playing an international break, 3 international break within the space of how many months? It's really, really terrible. Absolutely, it's not good for football. It's not good for football. These players are not robots, and they need to.
But Mr. Jeffrey, you would want to agree with me that these players are earning huge bucks of money, so they need to play.
They need to play in club football. The club pay them money, not their country.
Absolutely.
If the club play have a lot of matches, it's not a problem. But playing in the club football, going for international game, it's something else. How much is the country paying these players? They are not paying them. Some people don't collect money from their country. So you cannot be playing your club and going to play in the country. It's really, really much. They need to adjust the calendar. FIFA need to look into this. Play according to how the European calendar is being put in place, and make sure the international football comes once after the start of the season, then come the next time after the end of this before the end of the season. That's how it's supposed to be played. Not coming to play 3 international games in the space of 3 months. Come on, it's not good. So they need to adjust the calendar.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jeffrey Obrigado, for joining us on the show. Indeed, we had a swear time having you analyze some of the stories that we had to display on the show. A very big thank you to you once again.
Thank you so much, my good friend, my good sport journalist. You are the best in the world. Thank you so much.
And just like Mario Icardi and Victor Osimhen, I hope these bromance will continue for a very long time. And that was Mr. Jeffrey Obrigado, joined us on the show with his 2 cents on some of the stories that we had for you.